Zendaya wore it once, and fashion went crazy. The rise of Tenniscore. The fusion of fashion and sports is nothing new. In France, tennis, the country's second most popular sport, is fueling a global trend known as Tenniscore. At the Paris Tennis Club, the 2025 S/S Uniqlo x Roger Federer capsule collection was unveiled. Federer himself appeared alongside Uniqlo's head designer Claire Waite-Keller to present the collection. Young aspiring tennis stars even had the honor of receiving one-on-one coaching from the legend. This type of collaboration between fashion and sports is no longer just a trend, it's now a central force in the fashion industry. What began in the 1920s as sportswear has evolved into a pillar of everyday fashion. Sports brands now release collections each season that blend function and style. Celebrities frequently wear these pieces, driving trends in the process. Unthinkable combinations are now possible. Nike x Jacquemus, Dior x Mbappé, Nike x Dior, all breaking the barriers between luxury and athletic wear. Tennis, second only to football in French popularity, has increasingly intersected with fashion. Roger Federer, often called the Prince of Tennis, wore Nike for 25 years before switching to Uniqlo, even launching collaborative collections under the RF logo. But how has tennis attire, once seen as formal and refined, evolved? Back in 19th century England, cricket was a popular middle-class sport. The attire reflected its aristocratic roots, resembling party dresses. Lawn tennis rose to popularity in the late 1800s, and the same high-collared, long-sleeved dresses transitioned into the sport. Tennis, which began as an aristocratic pastime, was also a class symbol. White clothing was preferred to hide sweat stains, and because it required frequent washing, only the wealthy could afford to play. In the early 1900s, women wore floor-length skirts, stockings, and long-sleeved tops on the court. Coco Chanel challenged this in 1916 with designs that liberated the female body. At that time, men played in ties, sweaters, and flannel suits, while women still wore long dresses. But the 1920s marked a revolution in tennis fashion led by French luxury ambassador Suzanne Lenglen. She ditched the corset, wore pleated skirts and low-cut tops, and quickly became a fashion icon despite the initial scandal. Lenglen's sleeveless blouses, calf-length skirts, bob haircut, and turban-style headbands made her a flapper-girl symbol and trendsetter. In the 1930s, American female athlete Helen Wills Moody made headlines with her practical tennis outfits. Sleeveless blouses, knee-length skirts, sneakers, and a white visor became her signature. Meanwhile, French tennis star René Lacoste began creating breathable cotton shirts that protected players from the sun, giving birth to the iconic crocodile-branded Lacoste in 1933. In the 1940s, American player Gertrude Moran caused a stir at Wimbledon by wearing lace-trimmed shorts and a frilly top. Photographers were so eager to capture her look they lay flat on the ground for the perfect shot. This era also saw Marilyn Monroe-inspired glamorous wavy hairstyles make their way to the courts. By 1953, Maureen Connolly had won all 4 Grand Slam titles, and feminine pleated skirts with cardigans became popular. This was also when UK champion Fred Perry founded his eponymous brand, using a laurel wreath as the logo, a Wimbledon victory symbol. In the 1960s, tennis wear became more breathable and functional, featuring shorter skirts and sport shirts. Sponsor logos began appearing, and designs took a more geometric and tailored approach. As tennis became more accessible, outfits became more practical. Women adopted shorter skirts, and men moved to short-sleeved shirts and shorts. Since the 1970s, tennis fashion has shifted toward individuality and style. By the 1970s, TV color broadcasts brought vibrant tennis wear into the spotlight. Outfits became shorter and tighter, reflecting the times. In the 1980s and 90s, tennis wear took on rebellious, individualistic vibes. In 1985, American player and White wore a white bodysuit to Wimbledon. Princess Diana was also spotted with a perfectly styled blowout and a pale blue mini dress, posing with Steffi Graf. Andre Agassi famously wore denim shorts and flashy shirts, skipping Wimbledon entirely. His look, complete with headbands and wristbands, started a trend. Breathable, performance-driven materials also became standard. Serena Williams took cues from Agassi's grunge look and wore a denim miniskirt at the 2004 US Open. But it was Serena's 2018 black catsuit at Roland Garros that truly shocked the world, earning her the nickname Black Panther. However, The tournament banned such outfits the following year for clashing with its traditional image. Maria Sharapova, known for her beauty and 188 centimeters height, debuted a Nike tuxedo ensemble at Wimbledon 2008. With brands like Nike, Fila, and Adidas redefining tennis wear, this era brought bold designs and diverse materials to the court. The rise of the internet in the mid-90s also supercharged sports marketing, making athlete fashion more visible and influential. At the 2010 French Open, Venus Williams wore a lingerie-inspired lace dress she designed for her brand, 11. The outfit sparked controversy, not for the dress itself, but for the skin-toned shorts she wore underneath. Serena Williams, a 23-time Grand Slam champion who dominated women's tennis for over 2 decades, retired after the 2022 U.S. Open. With 36 Grand Slam titles and record-breaking prize money, her impact went beyond skill. Her bold fashion choices were always headline-worthy. Now retired, her fashion legacy is sorely missed. Colorful outfits were first allowed at the 1972 U.S. Open. Most major tournaments followed suit, except Wimbledon. Since 1963, it has enforced an all-white dress code, right down to players' undergarments, to preserve tennis's elegance. Each year in late May and early June, the French Open, Roland Garros, takes place in Paris. Lacoste, founded by René Lacoste in 1933, remains one of its oldest sponsors. The brand's origin traces back to 1923, when Lacoste's team captain promised him a crocodile skin bag if he won. Though he lost, an American journalist praised him for fighting like a crocodile. The nickname stuck, and he later had the crocodile embroidered on his jacket, which became the iconic Lacoste logo. Lacoste also pioneered short-sleeved peak polos, offering athletes breathable alternatives to restrictive uniforms. Today, Tenniscore has emerged as one of the most relevant trends in fashion. If we had to pick the most stylish and wearable sportswear, tennis wear would win hands down. That's because fashion is one of the most direct expressions of passion for a sport and its values. The phenomenon began gaining momentum in fall-winter 2022, when Miu Miu's collection, featuring polo shirts and white pleated miniskirts, echoed the TikTok-fueled revival of elite, preppy aesthetics under the Tenniscore label. By summer 2023, Celine launched its first dedicated tennis collection. Hedi Slimane showcased tennis jackets and pleated miniskirts for S/S 2023. Loewe, Dior, and Miu Miu soon followed with their own tennis lines. But the true Tenniscore explosion came in spring 2024, with the release of the movie Challengers. Zendaya's Tenniscore outfits during the global press tour transformed fashion influencers overnight. Whether or not you actually play tennis no longer matters. Everyone wants to dress like they do. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.